I choose foreign artist, which is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He is an Austrian music composer. He was born on January 27, 1756 at Sauburg, Austria. He composed from the age of 5 and performed before the European royalty. He composed more than 600 works. During his final year in Vienna, he composed many of his best-known symphonies, concertos, and operas in portion of the Requiem, which was largely unfinished at the time of his early death at the age of 35 at Vienna. He is considered among the greatest classical composer of all time. Now here are 20 pictures of the music title, which composed by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The first music title is Magic Flute. This song is one of the greatest operas written. It is timeless classic concerns the search for truth and reason, love and enlightenment. The Marriage of Figaro. It is near Seville, the 1930s. In a storeroom that they have been allocated, Figaro and Susanna's servants to the Count and Countess Almaviva are preparing for their wedding. Figaro is furious when he learns from his bridge that Count has tried to seduce her. He is determined to revenge on his master. The third music title is the Requiem. The Requiem in D minor is a Requiem Mass by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mozart composed part of the Requiem in Vienna in the late 1791, but it was unfinished at his death on 5th of December the same year. Next is Piano Sonata number 11. The Piano Sonata number 11 is a piano sonata andante in 3 movements. Mozart likely composed the sonata while in the Gaseoso, Vienna or Salzburg by around 1783, although Paris and dates as Monento for Bach as 1783 have also been suggested. Next is Don Giovanni. In this opera, Mozart's outrageous comedy tells the tale on an incorrigible young playboy who blazes a path to his own destruction in a single day. Based on the story of Don Juan, Don Giovanni follows an irresistible yet irresponsible and immoral youth who is loved by women almost as universally as he loved them. Next is Clarinet Concerto. The Clarinet Concerto completed in 1791, the year of Mozart's death, marked his farewell to instrumental music. It was also the first clarinet concerto to be written by A major, except that Mozart did not write it for the clarinet at all. Sonata for 2 pianos. The Sonata for 2 pianos was composed by Mozart in 1781 when he was 25. It is a written sonata allegro form with 3 movements. It was composed for a performance he would give with fellow pianist Josefa Jernhammer. Mozart composed this in the gallant style with interlocking melodies and stimultaneous cadences. Così fan tutte. Così fan tutte la Scala degli Amante is an Italian language opera buffa in 2 acts by Mozart. It is first performed on 26th of January 1790 at the Burg Theater in Vienna, Austria. Così fan tutte story tells us Don Alfonso and his young military friends, Fernando and Guglielmo, are discussing the fidelity of women. Fantasia number 3. Fantasia number 3 in D minor is a piece of music for solo piano composed by Mozart in 1782. Despite being unfinished at the Mozart's death, the piece is nonetheless one of his more popular compositions for the piano. La Clemenza di Tito is an opera seria in 2 acts composed by Mozart in September 6, 1791 at State's Theatre Prague to an Italian libretto by Caterino Muzzala after Pietro Metastasio. It was started after the bulk of Die Zauberflöte. The last opera that Mozart worked on was already written. Side D. Mozart was composing this in the year 1780 for a German libretto by Johann Andres Sachner, set in Turkey, which was the scene of his next completed rescue Sing Spy, or literally singing play. A musical joke. Divertimento for 2 horns and string quartets is a composition by Mozart. It entered in his Versuchnes aller Männer Werke, or Catalogue of All My Works on June 14, 1787. Its harmonic and rhythmic gaffe served to parody works of incompetent composer. Coronation Mass. Mozart wrote the Coronation Mass in 1779 at the age of 23, after a commission of the Archbishop of Salzburg, Count Colloredo, in honor of the commemoration of the coronation of the miraculous Virgin of Maria Plani Sanctuary. Mithridate Re di Punto is an early opera seria in 3 acts. Mozart wrote Mithridate while touring Italy in 1770. Sinfonia Concertante. This isn't one of Mozart's best-known works, but it's absolutely one of his best. It's somewhere in between a symphony and a concerto, and the sublime second movement was written just after Mozart's mother's death. You can hear a beautiful sadness in the elegant harmonic twist and the meditative space given to the two soloists. Piano Sonata No. 11. This is one of the most famous, jumping on the 18th century trend for all things in Turkish. Mozart uses a Turkish-style march in this sonata's third movement, putting aside the question of how Turkish if actually is the movement has become one of the most famous works ever written for piano. Piano Concerto No. 24. Mozart composed the concerto in the winter of 1785 to 1786. This grand and emotionally charged concerto is one of Mozart's very few minor key works and uses the biggest orchestra of any of his concertos. It was reportedly one of Beethoven's favorite piano works. Ave Verum Corpus. Mozart composed this song in the year 1791. It is a sitting of the Latin hymn Ave Verum Corpus. Mozart wrote it for the Antonstuhl, a friend who was the church musician of St. Stephan in Baden-Baden. Great Mass is the common name of the musical setting of the Mass by Mozart and considered one of the greatest artwork. He composed in Vienna in 1782 and 1783 after his marriage, when he moved to Vienna from Salzburg. Serenade No. 13. It is a composition for a chamber ensemble by Mozart. The German title means a little serenade, though it is often rendered more literally as a little night music.